Here are the answers to exam 6, math 222. Okay, number 1. So subtract off the 2y and the minus 4. So it becomes negative 2y plus 4 on the right-hand side. Add 4 to both sides. That completes the square. Half and square. Half of negative 4 is negative 2. Negative 2 squared is 4. Add 4 to both sides. This is negative 2y plus 8. This factors into x minus 2 squared. Factor out the negative 2. Negative 2 parentheses y minus 4. And we can write this as negative 4p y minus 4. So negative 2 equals negative 4p, so p is 1/2. Right? So the vertex is 2, 4, squared in x not in y with a negative opening down. P is equal to half. So the vertex is 2, 4. I go half a unit down to get the focus, which is 2, 3.5. I go up half a unit and draw the entire horizontal line. So the directrix is y equals 4.5. Number 2, you're given that the parabola has a vertex at the origin, opens to the right, so something like that, and the directrix is x equals negative 2. That tells me that p is equal to 2. So the fact that it goes like that means it's y squared equals 4px. Plug in the p is 2, so y squared equals 8x. Number 3, you're given a vertex at 2, 2 and a focus at 2, 4. That tells me that it's opening up. Okay, so that means it's squared in x, not in y, and a positive. P is 2. So offset 2, 2 means x minus 2, y minus 2. X minus 2 squared equals 4p. The p is 2. So I plug in the 2 times y minus 2. So final answer, x minus 2 squared equals 8 times y minus 2. Number 4, put the x's together, x squared minus 2x. Put the y's together, 4y squared minus 16y. Move the 13 over to the other side, so minus 13. Complete the square. Half of negative 2 is negative 1. Negative 1 squared is 1. Add 1 to both sides. Complete the square. Half of negative 4 is negative 2. Negative 2 squared is 4. Plus 4 really means plus 16 because you're distributing a 4 here. So plus 16. The right-hand side comes out to be 4. This factors in x minus 1 squared plus 4 times y minus 2 squared equals 4. Divide by 4. X minus 1 squared over 4 plus y minus 2 squared over 1 equals 1. So a is 1, b is 2. The center is 1, 2. Use a squared equals b squared plus c squared. A squared is 4, b squared is 1. Subtract 1, 3 is equal to c squared. C is radical 3, which is about 1.7. So center is 1, 2. I go 2 to the left, 2 to the right, giving me vertices of negative 1, 1, and 3, 1. I go 1 unit up and down, 1, 3, and 1, 1, which aren't any special names. And the two foci, I go square root of 3, 1.7 to the left, 1.7 to the right. So my foci are 1 minus radical 3, 1, and 1 plus radical 3, 1. Okay, number 5, you're given that the foci are at plus or minus 2, 0. So the centers of the origin, and that tells me C is 2. Y-intercepts of 0 and plus or minus 2, that tells me B is 2. Okay, and I use a squared equals b squared plus c squared. B squared is 4, c squared is also 4, a squared equals 8. A is radical 8, but we don't really need to know that. We just need the equation x squared over 8 plus y squared over 4 equals 1. It's x squared over a squared. We got a squared is 8 plus y squared over b squared, which is 4, and that equals 1. Okay, 6, you have vertex at 3, 3, and 3, negative 1. So 3, 3 is here, 3, negative 1 is here. Halfway between the two is the center, 3, 1. So that tells me automatically I have x minus 3 squared over something plus y minus 1 squared over something equals 1. I now know a is 2, and it's going up and down. So 2 squared is 4. That goes there. Okay, and I'm told that the graph goes through the point 2, 1. So I plug in 2 here, 1 here. 1 minus 1 is 0, so that's all gone. 2 minus 3 is a negative 1. Negative 1 squared is 1, so 1 over b squared equals 1. Cross multiply, b squared is 1, so b is 1. So put 1 squared here, which is still 1. So x minus 3 squared over 1 plus y minus 1 squared over 4 equals 1. Number 7, for the hyperbola, so move the constant negative 16 over to positive 16. Put the y's together, the x's together. Factor out the 9, y squared minus 4y. Fractal to negative 4, x squared minus 4x. In red, complete the square. Half of negative 4 is negative 2. Negative 2 squared is 4. Plus 4 here really means plus 36. Complete the square here. Half of negative 4 is negative 2. Negative 2 squared is 4. We just did that. Plus 4 really means minus 16 because there's negative 4 there. Okay, this comes out to be 36 on the right-hand side. This is 9 parentheses y minus 2 squared minus 4 parentheses x minus 2 squared equals 36. Divided by 36. Y minus 2 squared over 4 minus x minus 2 squared over 9 equals 1. Y is first, x is second, so it's an up and down type of hyperbola. A is the square root of 4, which is 2. B is the square root of 9, which is 3. A squared plus b squared equals c squared for the hyperbola. So that gives me 4 plus 9 is c squared. C squared is 13. C is radical 13, 3.6. So here we go. I'm told now the center is at 2, 2. And I go left and right is 3 units. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Up and down is 2. Here are my 2 vertices, 2, 4, and 2, 0. My 2 foci are 2, 2 plus radical 13, 2, 2 minus radical 13. Here are the asymptotes. And so there's the hyperbola. Okay, here are the asymptotes. Y minus 2 equals 2/3 x minus 2. The other asymptote is exactly the same except for a negative 2/3. So y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Number 8, you're given a focus at 2, 2. And vertices are 2, 1 and 2, negative 3. So halfway between the 2 vertices is the center. Center is at 2, negative 1. And that tells me A is 2, C is 3. So A squared plus B squared equals C squared for the hyperbola. A squared is 4, C squared is 9, B squared is 5. Okay, so center's at 2, negative 1, so it's going to be y plus 1 squared. I know it's the up and down type of hyperbola, so y comes first. Y plus 1 squared over A squared, which is 4, minus x minus 2 squared over b squared, which is 5, equals 1. Number 9, you have vertices at plus or minus 3, 0. Halfway is the center, so we're fortunately centered at the origin. Okay, and vertices are here, so that means it's going left and right. So x is first, x squared minus y squared. A is 3. They told me asymptotes are y equals plus or minus 4/3 x. So 3 to the right, 4 up or down, tells me b is 4. So x squared over a squared is now 9, minus y squared over b squared, 16, is equal to 1. And 10, so x equals e to the negative t, that's 1 over e to the t. But y is equal to e to the t, so x equals 1 over y. A little bit of algebra, y equals 1 over x. Okay, starting at t equals 0, so if I plug in 0, I'm at 1, 1. Show the direction of increasing t. If t equals 1, I have 1 over e, which is this way. So starting at 1, 1, the graph goes up like so. Right, so that was exam 6.